for the people, he's going to do his people. Which is one of the reasons why I hate this hard line cut we've got between Republicans and Democrats right now. Because right now it's you or me, it's us or them, it's galvanized, it's pointed. And if it doesn't harm the other side, then you're bad for your side.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't believe that all Republicans should be taken out, then you're not a good Democrat.
Yeah.
You know, if you believe that we need to get a little bit of more money to some of these people that really need it, then you're a bad Republican. You know, when that's never been the idea. I mean, truthfully, the biggest ideas between our two parties are small government and big government.
Mm-hmm.
The left wants the government to be big brother, big daddy, to be poppy and sugar daddy and take care of me. The right, the Republican Party tends to be the get the fuck out of my business. Let us run like normal. Let the states, you know, have their thing. Government, you're supposed to come in when it's a problem between the states. The federal government is not supposed to be about the everyday person. It's supposed to step in when there's a problem between states, when the states can't get along. And it's supposed to help regulate our commerce, our transport, things like that are shared by every single state.
And if each side kind of stuck to those arguments, I think it would be fair, because that would bring balance, you know, some kind of balance between big government and small government is probably the best way to go, you know.
I'm trying to understand why people are completely baffled about the fact that the federal government, the government, is the number one employer in the country. That means our tax dollars are not going to things that they could be going to because they're too busy. Instead of finding ways to stimulate the economy to create more jobs, they are falsely and unnecessarily putting levels of bureaucracy in, which actually means the government is paying more people and taxing our own tax dollars.
And getting bigger. And so, but look, if the argument just stayed on that, I think that would be good. It's just that whichever side you want to choose, they, depending on what subject is the matter of the moment, they will change their stance related to the big government, small government. The conservatives, the Republicans don't stay on that argument, you know, completely. They will move from that big government, you know, that small government idea, depending on, you know, something that they believe in or whatever, you know, some kind of ideological belief that they have, and they'll support big government to get that done. You get what I'm saying? And the other side does the same thing. So it's like, if they stayed in that lane related to big government versus small government, I think that will be fair. But when you flip and flop and you don't have a spine when it comes to that, then it's like you don't really believe in what you say that you believe in. You know, I don't see the Republicans as the party of small government anymore. You know, maybe that's what it was some years ago, but not anymore.
No, they're still about reducing the size of government. Go ahead.
The power of government, I don't see it, because the Roe versus Wade is an example of it. You know,
Roe versus Wade is not. Roe versus Wade is a perfect example of taking power away from the government and returning it to the states where that decision belongs. It is not covered by the Constitution. Now, again, I'm standing here. This is a hill. I'm not willing to die on this hill, but I am willing to kill somebody on it, because
Well,
It is
they're
it is
pushing for nationwide abortion bans now. So
absolutely, and by the
that's
very
not.
argument that they used to overturn Roe versus Wade, that should not be allowed as well, for
Yeah,
the
so
very
that's
reason
where.
that Roe versus Wade was not. Now, if they want to go about making a constitutional amendment and trying to push that through, by all means, go for it. That's the way that this problem should be handled. And but to do that, again, we have a section. We have this particular topic is very delicate for the one simple reason: when
When
does
is life?
life begin?
Another topic where that gets kind of hairy is the one related to the border. Did you hear about the issue related to the Texas Rangers or whatever you call them going against the federal government on a certain part of the border where you had Texas not allowing the federal agents to go into that part of the border and do their job or whatever? They put like a blockade and blocked them from coming and all of that. Did you hear that story?
I need to know more details about that.
Let me see if I could pull that up. I'm pretty sure I covered it in a couple show ago. It's been a little while now. It's been over a week. I think it's been over a week since that happened. Let me see if I can pull something up. What's up, Pat? How you feeling, man?
Wonderful, wonderful. How y'all feeling?
I'm
Can
feeling
y'all
good,
hear me?
man. Yeah,
Okay.
man. It's good to hear
Doing
you, man.
good. Yes, sir. Greetings and salutations, my friend.
Same to you, my brother. So, what's the deal today? What we talking about? Secret,
Um,
secret strikes into the Middle East.
At,
Uh
at
oh.
at the exact moment, we're discussing the trend toward large and small government and how neither side is really standing hard on the big small government arguments.
There's only one that really ever really says small government. Like one side believes totally in big government. Like, and that's for the most part
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
known
Well, yeah.
the
We
Democrat. The Republicans, I think they
and I
say it, but they can't really live up to it because, the, you know, I mean, once they get certain things rolling, I mean, what do you do?
well,
Just start tearing things down?
I brought up the fact that right now the government is the largest employer of all employers. Say people sit there and say it's Walmart, but when you look at those, they're not including government as an employer. Walmart employs 1.5 million people across the country. The federal government or the government employs 2.7 million across the country.
Well,
They
I
are
think that's
literally the largest employer in our country. And I personally think that that's part of our problem because we're spending our money, our tax money, to pay all these people, which are quite often in redundant jobs, just made to be able to. And I'm going to say this flat out 90% of the reason why government is so big is to keep the employment numbers up. That way they look better as politicians because, well, all of these people are employed, right? Where would they be without the government as an employer?
yeah. I mean, I think the private sector should be the ability to focus more on the private sector having or being able to provide more jobs, but because the whole idea of them being able to control, see, I think that that's one of the pieces that gets overlooked is that the reason why that they do have that is like more control. If you're a private entity, you can create your own policies, within in-house and this, that, and the other. You don't have to follow there's these rules. I mean, like one of the reasons why some of these bigger companies are able to get away with a lot of the stuff that they do is because they are acting on behalf of the government. If we talk about Facebook, Apple, uh, you know, the different media groups, they will act on behalf of the government, but because they can have their own private policies, they can get away with censoring and different things that is against the, that's unconstitutional.